This only happens in Mongolia. Today, you will learn about shocking facts that are only seen in this country. Well, I'm sure you will be left speechless if you watch the video until the end. Are you ready? Join us and let's go. Number 19. The country of the wild steppes. Let's start by talking about the first impression. The vastness of Mongolia is impressive from the first glance. With its 1.5 million square kilometers, the country is home to just 2 people per square kilometer, making it the least densely populated country in the world. The wild landscapes stretch on endlessly, creating a breathtaking backdrop of golden steppes, snow-capped mountains, and the imposing Gobi Desert. The extreme climate shapes the lives of the inhabitants, with winters that can drop to 40 degrees Celsius and scorching summers that exceed 40 degrees Celsius. This brutal temperature range has created a resilient and adaptable people who have learned to thrive in conditions that many would consider impossible. The vast plains are dotted with traditional gurs, the round tents that Mongolians call home, and herds of wild horses gallop freely across the endless horizon. The low population density has allowed the preservation of unique ecosystems, where wolves, antelopes, and golden eagles still roam free. Number 18. Demographic imbalance and social impacts. In modern Mongolia, a puzzling demographic phenomenon shapes society in unique ways. The country faces a significant population imbalance, with 105 women for every 100 men in urban areas. In Ulaanbaatar, the capital, this number is even more dramatic, with a surplus of 60,000 women. This disparity has created complex social dynamics, profoundly affecting relationships and the social fabric of the country. Mongolian women, often more educated and professionally successful than their male counterparts, face unique challenges in finding relationships. Statistics show that only 32% of women over the age of 15 are married, while for men this number is as high as 40%. Social pressure to marry before the age of 29 remains intense, especially for women. Number 17. The eternal legacy of Genghis Khan. The greatest leader in Mongolian history left his mark on the world today. Born Temujin, his journey from a turbulent childhood to becoming the ruler of the largest contiguous empire in history is extraordinary. After unifying the Mongol tribes in 1206, he was given the title of universal ruler. His military conquests stretched from China to Europe, but his legacy goes beyond battle. He implemented a revolutionary system based on meritocracy, abolished Mongol slavery, created an efficient postal system, and established the Yasa legal code. In Ulaanbaatar, an imposing 40-meter statue commemorates his memory. His empire facilitated unprecedented exchange between East and West, creating trade routes that transformed the global economy of the time. I have a question for you. First, I'd like to tell you that it's possible to keep up with the biggest curiosities of our world every day, but for that, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So, have you subscribed yet? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Now that you've done that, let's go. Number 16. The unique relationship with water and hygiene. In ancient Mongolian culture, water held sacred significance, especially during the reign of Genghis Khan. Activities such as bathing in rivers were believed to disturb the dragon veins, energy lines in the earth that were considered sacred. This belief led to the development of unique hygiene practices. Mongolian warriors rarely changed their clothing, removing it only to eliminate parasites. However, on special occasions and festivals, they wore clean, special robes. Body odor was considered a unique personal characteristic. Receiving a piece of clothing worn by Genghis Khan was a supreme honor, symbolizing a deep connection with the leader. Number 15. The sacred art of hospitality. In Mongolian culture, hospitality goes beyond simple social courtesy. It is a sacred tradition that dates back to the time of Genghis Khan. The nomads developed an elaborate system of welcoming visitors, where every gesture carries a profound meaning. Upon arrival at a ger, a guest is given the honor of sitting at the koimor, the most prestigious place opposite the entrance. The host serves arog, fermented mare's milk, in a ceremonial bowl, and refusing this offer is considered a grave offense. During the freezing nights, families share not only their physical space, but also their stories, traditions, and human warmth. This culture of hospitality developed as a necessity for survival on the vast steppes, where travelers depended on the kindness of strangers to survive the extreme conditions. Mongols believe that each visitor brings special blessings, and the more generous the welcome, the more prosperous the host family will be. Number 14. Culinary traditions and rituals at the table. Mongolian cuisine deeply reflects its nomadic culture. Meals are sacred moments of communion, where hosts offer the best of their hospitality. A notable peculiarity is the absence of knives at the table. symbolizing respect and harmony. Dishes are shared using hands, chopsticks, or spoons, emphasizing the communal nature of the experience. Irog, fermented mare's milk, is a traditional drink offered to guests, and refusing it is considered a grave offense. When visiting a Mongolian family, it is customary to bring food or drinks as a sign of respect. Meals strengthen social bonds and are accompanied by traditional stories and songs. Number 13. The Sky Burial Ritual. One of Mongolia's most intriguing traditions is sky burial, which has been practiced since the 15th century. When Altan Khan established Buddhism as the national religion, traditional burials were banned, leading to the development of this unique practice. The ritual involves a meticulous process where the body of the deceased is prepared and taken to a sacred site in the mountains. The family wraps the body in a special cloth called kadag, positioning it with the head facing north. Natural elements and birds of prey are considered sacred messengers that transport the soul of the deceased to the next realm. After 3 days, the family returns to check that the body has been completely consumed, symbolizing the complete release of the soul. Number 12. The Reborn Buddhist monasteries. Following the communist repression that destroyed 99% of Mongolia's Buddhist monasteries between 1937 and 1939, the country experienced a remarkable religious revival. The Gondantik Chinlen Monastery in Ulaanbaatar, which survived the Soviet period, is now home to more than 150 monks and an 85-foot 26.5-meter Buddha statue. There are now more than 200 active monasteries in the country, where young monks study ancient texts recovered from secret hiding places where they were preserved during the persecution. Buddhist ceremonies are blended with traditional shamanic practices, creating a unique form of Mongolian spirituality. The monasteries also serve as centers for education and preservation of traditional Mongolian medicine. Number 11. Purification by fire. Ancient shamanic practices included controversial purification rituals involving fire. Newborn babies were briefly exposed to flames to strengthen their souls. These rituals, performed by skilled shamans, were considered essential to ensuring a long and prosperous life. Although officially banned, there are still reports of remote communities maintaining these traditions. Health authorities actively combat these practices, while cultural advocates argue for the preservation of this ancient heritage. Number 10. Modern polygamy. As population imbalances have spread, some Mongolian communities have revived ancient practices of polygamy. Although technically illegal, informal arrangements are tolerated in rural areas. A man may keep multiple temporary wives. This modern practice differs from traditional polygamy in that it focuses more on economic needs than social status. Critics argue that it exploits vulnerable women, while advocates argue that it provides social stability in isolated communities. Number 9. The concept of beauty in Mongolian culture. In Mongolia, beauty transcends Western physical standards. A woman is considered beautiful for her strength, endurance, and ability to thrive in the harsh conditions of the steppe. Traditionally, qualities such as skill in livestock management, household management, and resistance to extreme weather are highly valued. In urban areas such as Ulaanbaatar, although Western influences are beginning to penetrate, the traditional concept of beauty remains strongly linked to the ability to face challenges and keep traditions alive. Number 8. The Gobi Desert in transformation. The Gobi Desert, covering 1.3 million square kilometers, is undergoing dramatic changes due to climate change. Archaeologists regularly discover dinosaur fossils and ancient artifacts exposed by increasing erosion. The region is home to the world's only surviving wild camel, the wild Bactrian camel, with fewer than 1,000 individuals remaining. Local communities have developed unique survival techniques, such as collecting water from ice that forms in underground caves. The Mongolian government has established conservation programs that combine traditional knowledge with modern technology to combat desertification. Number 7. The influence of the Golden Horde. Under Batu Khan's leadership, the Golden Horde, one of the most important branches of the Mongol Empire, left a profound mark on Russian history. Its administrative practices shaped the systems of governance and legislation that persist in modern-day Russia. Mongol rule facilitated intense trade and cultural exchange between Europe and Asia, contributing significantly to the development of Moscow as a center of power. Number 6. The power of Mongolian women. Mongolian women carry a unique legacy of strength and independence. Since ancient times, while men went on long military campaigns, women have managed all aspects of nomadic life. Today, they represent the majority of university students and professionals in a variety of fields. Mongolian women excel in traditionally male-dominated fields such as business, politics, and academia. However, they face unique challenges. Their high educational attainment often makes it difficult to find suitable partners, as many men remain in rural areas or pursue traditional occupations. Despite this, they maintain ancient traditions alive, such as making felt products, preparing traditional dairy products, and passing on cultural knowledge to new generations. This duality between modernity and tradition defines the contemporary Mongolian woman, who deftly navigates different worlds while preserving her unique cultural identity. Number 5. The guest warming ritual. In ancient Mongolia, one of the most controversial traditions involved offering overnight companionship to visitors. The daughters of host families were assigned to warm guests during the freezing nights in the gurs. This practice, deeply rooted in nomadic culture, was not seen as exploitation, but as a sacred part of hospitality. The ritual had strict rules and specific protocols that had been developed over centuries. Visitors who received this honor were considered a temporary part of the family, creating alliances between clans. Anthropologists debate whether this tradition arose as a necessity for survival on the icy steppes or as a way to strengthen tribal bonds. Today, the practice has largely disappeared, surviving only in historical records and accounts of ancient travelers. Number 4. The reverse bride market. In response to demographic imbalances, a unique phenomenon has emerged in Mongolia: the reverse dowry. Families of single men offer large sums of money, livestock, and property to attract potential brides. This practice has turned the traditional dowry dynamic on its head, creating a market where educated and professionally established women are highly valued. Some families even offer apartments in Ulaanbaatar or entire herds of cattle as bride price. This has sparked debates about the commodification of relationships and social pressure on women. Number 3. The trade of eagles. Mongolia's ancient tradition of falconry is facing an ethical crisis. Eagle chicks are captured from their nests for training, a practice that conservationists say is cruel. On the black market, a trained eagle can fetch tens of thousands of dollars. Traditional hunters argue that the practice preserves a vital cultural heritage, while activists denounce the impact on wild eagle populations. The Mongolian government faces the dilemma of balancing cultural preservation with environmental protection, while foreign buyers fuel a growing demand for these majestic birds. Number 2. The guardians of harmonic singing. In Mongolia, there is a growing group of women who practice komi, a unique form of harmonic singing traditionally dominated by men. This singing involves simultaneously producing 2 or 3 different tones through special vocal techniques. Female komi singers initially faced strong resistance, as there was a superstition that women who practiced this singing could have problems conceiving. Today, artists like Batbatar Undarma are leading a movement that is changing this perception. They perform at international festivals and teach new generations, preserving this art form recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. By 2022, the number of professional female komi singers had increased to over 30, up from just 3 in 2010. Number 1. The silent war against alcoholism. Social imbalance in modern Mongolia has led to a silent epidemic: male alcoholism. Alarming statistics show that 60% of Mongolian men develop alcohol dependence. This problem has deep roots in post-Soviet social destabilization. Male unemployment in urban areas exceeds 40%, driving many men to drink. Women often take on the role of primary breadwinner, putting strain on traditional family structures. The government has implemented controversial measures, including drunkards, teams that patrol the streets, rounding up intoxicated men for forced detoxification centers. Are you seeing this video that is now appearing on the screen? I have selected it especially for you. You will discover the shocking reality that is happening in India. Are you curious? Then click now and go check it out. Well, that's it, and until next time, Curious One.